Life flows on the river of purpose. We're all carried by the uncertainty of its own unfolding. Chasing purpose is all about nurturing faith, setting intentions, pursuing aspirations, all while living boldly. Chasing Purpose aims to inspire, uplift, and empower people through real-life stories. Stories that encapsulate life's memorable moments and enduring life lessons. Chasing Purpose with host Syntyche.
Count on me through thick and thin, a friendship that will never end. When you are weak, I will be strong, helping you to carry on. Call on me, I will be there. Don't be afraid. Please believe me when I say count on me. This verse is from the theme song of one of my favorite movies, Waiting to Exhale. These lyrics by Whitney Houston spoke to the very topic we will be discussing as we continue to celebrate Women's Month. Sisterhood, the power of sisterhood. A sisterhood is defined as the state of being a sister and being involved with a strong community that is bound together by shared experiences or interests. Welcome to Chasing Purpose, a journey of self-development, self-love, healing, and spirituality. Each week, we aim to empower and uplift you through thought-provoking conversations surrounding our 4 pillars: nurturing faith, pursuing aspirations, setting intentions, all while we are living boldly. On last week's show, we were joined by the gorgeous, she was just giving me so much life, Queen Ifrica, who dropped some amazing gems on love. Here is our purpose poll.
Your purpose is your right. So even if somebody rape you, sodomize you, do you the worst thing, never forget what your purpose was.
You can subscribe to our YouTube channel, Chasing Purpose with Syntyche Clarke, where you can find all of our episodes. Our candid conversations continue with Dawn Petgrave. Dawn is an associate counseling psychologist who recently launched a counseling center, Life Care Center. This center offers free therapy for all those who need it, which I think is a lot of us nowadays, yeah? Dawn, welcome to Chasing Purpose.
Thank you.
By the way, Dawn is no stranger to the Bridge 99 FM. She is, I want to say, you're like always on.
I'm always on.
Yeah, Dawn is always on. So she's family. She is family. And congratulations on the amazing initiative of just kind of stepping into your purpose. We were talking off camera. We'll talk a little bit later on down the show about you doing just that. But today our topic is about sisterhood.
Yeah.
And the
great
importance,
topic, by the way.
Thank you. The importance of sisterhood as we celebrate Women's Month.
Right.
And the amazing journey that we as women are doing. Yeah. So we want to talk about just the unification of sisters, and not just sisters as in blood, but just by life experiences, so on and so forth. So Dawn, why do you think sisterhood is so important?
Oh man, well, women are nurturers.
Yes.
So, I mean, just think about what we can accomplish together, and so for me, sisterhood is everything. If we just understand what that means, the strength that comes from aligning yourself with someone of shared interests, like you said earlier. Every time I think about sisterhood or have to speak on the topic, I remember at a conference and they were speaking about a term that's used in construction. Two before, everybody know two before. So the term sistering is putting two before together to strengthen, an area. And every time I think about sisterhood, that's what I think about, strengthening each other.
All right, so I'm going to be devil's advocate here.
That's fine.
We're you said we are innate nurturers, right?
Yes.
We're stronger together.
Yes.
2 before put together.
Yeah.
Sistering, stronger together. Why do we as women?
Yeah.
As women, let's make we talk clean and straight.
Yes.
Why do we as women shy away from that or put up this wall against coming together as one?
Insecurities. Insecurities. And you know what it is think about it. How many times are we taught that it's okay to even empower a sister? How many times? I had somebody recently, we were in a conversation, and she said to me, before we even go any further in this meeting, I have to tell you, I didn't like you. And I said, And she said, it's the honest truth. Every time I see you, I thought, look, Panar, I go on like she better than everybody. And I thought to myself, but why would you say that? And she says, to be honest, I don't know. And there in that meeting, getting to know me, she was like, what was I thinking? So a lot of times it's our own insecurities. So we see something in that person that we like, but instead of even drawing closer so you can rub off, you know,
we
and
shy away.
strengthen a little bit, we shy away.
Going off script here. Yes, and yes. There are. I'm guilty. There are times that we're all guilty, where you see someone, you want to get to know them, but for some reason you've put up this, and you said it's insecurity.
Yeah, man.
Some maybe you want to see in yourself, but you feel like you're lacking. When in essence you really aren't.
Absolutely.
You really aren't. What you have is there. It's just for you now to embrace. We need to be embracing each other more.
Self-love.
We spoke about that with Queen last week. We can do so much more together.
Absolutely, man.
So much more together. There's so much people in this space here in Jamaica and outside that I strongly believe because I'm going to be that change. When we all come together on this journey, they are the mountains that we will be able to move, especially for someone that is in a space such as yours, where counseling.
Yes. But Sojourner Truth said it. She said, if one woman can turn the world upside down, then I am sure us women can come together and turn it back around. You know, so just think about what we can achieve together. You know, Kofi Annan said it. He says when women are empowered, just think about society. Societies thrive. So I think sometimes we underestimate, first of all, our own strength, our own inner strength, and then understanding that, you know what, you may be a better speaker, but you probably sure can't write as good as I can.
Yes.
What if we put our skills together?
There's unity
just
there.
Think
there's
about
strength.
that.
Sorry, there's
There's
strength in that.
right there.
There's strength there.
Yeah.
All right. How important is it for us to find persons with similar core values on our journey?
It's very important. It's absolutely important because what it does, it helps you to grow. All right. And again, we shy away from that. Now, there was a lady, and you know, of course, our amazing artist is here. I can't help but, you know, just pull her in. Nayoka. Because when I worked for MAC Cosmetics, a lady, we had an incident and someone was overcharged in US.
Ooh-cha.
Okay? And the lady came to talk to us about it and how the conversation went. I asked her if I could go to coffee with her. How she handled the situation. I wanted to know, who is this woman to be able to walk in with so much poise and instead of anger and frustration, empathy.
Yeah, empathy.
She was like, how did you balance? The whole night we were there we could have balanced. And this woman was more concerned about us than she was getting, you know, irate about the error that took place. So guess what happened? If you can handle a situation like that, I want to know you.
And even that mindset, right? Instead of turning up your nose on who she thinks she is, wanting to get to know more, right? What you were doing was nurturing yourself, really, right? Pulling on her gems. Again, look here, enough strength. What are some qualities, good qualities for sisterhood to look for?
Honesty.
Important.
Honesty.
I think that's where it starts, yeah?
Yes, honesty is very important because loving me means you're going to have to tell me when I'm out of line. And sometimes we see that on the flip side. Oh, I don't want to hurt her feelings, but if you love me and I'm out of line, tell me. So I need honesty, and I need to be able to tell you that you need to get your crap together, man. Let's without you feeling who you think you be.
Correct.
Right? Integrity, trust. I mean, these are words that we throw around, but look at all the problems in society. Just look at all the problems. Where did they come from? Lack of trust, lack of integrity, you know, dishonesty, all of it. And so those are the three most things for me. I know we spoke about shared visions and shared goals, but I have many young women that I mentor, and we don't necessarily share the same the same vision, but they want to become better. And that's okay with me. There are women that I literally reach out to. Recently, I wrote to one of my professors. I'm currently doing forensic psychology. And I wrote to her because the class was just amazing. And I'm a reader, right? So when I learn something new and I can correlate it with something that I've read somewhere, and you as the educator would have read what I read, man, it was on.
Yeah.
So that was good for me,
Yes.
that a teacher was also well read, not just in the subject area that she taught. So I wrote her. I sent her an email. I told her I enjoyed the class. I loved her knowledge, and I would love her to mentor me. Just like that.
Another thing that I think that we, I'm going to speak for myself here,
Yeah.
maybe some women that we shy away from, instead of stepping up and doing just that.
Yeah.
When someone impresses you or impresses upon you, reaching out and saying, look, I would love for you, maybe just to go out for tea or email or something to get more of, to be poured more into. I think this is a nurturing game.
Yeah.
We need to be looking at how, one, we can nurture others, and also how we can be nurtured, because you can't pour from an empty cup.
You can't.
Right? And we don't
You
know
can't.
everything.
You can't.
You know, and I'm in this game to grow. This is a
Yeah.
growth game
Yeah.
for me.
But you see what you said. You are in this game to grow. You already understand that. Many persons don't want to be a part of their own, just even growth.
Yeah, I was just
They
talking
don't-
about this with
Right.
Nayoka, yeah?
Right.
Yeah.
They want a quick fix. There's no
Yeah.
quick fix to this.
Yeah, no.
There's no
There
quick
isn't.
fix to
There
this. And
isn't.
so you have to want it. And many times we don't go after it because, again, it falls back to self-confidence. So if you are confident in who you are, like me, I'm not as smart as that woman. She has a PhD and she has been in forensic psychology for over 20 something years. Now I've been in clinical psychology, so I can own that. But I want to be a great forensic psychologist.
And you identify that in her.
And I identify that in
Yeah.
her.
Yeah.
I was not going to let somebody else reach her before me.
Yes, look at that.
Yeah.
I love that energy. And on that note, stick and stay. We'll be right back with Dawn Petgrave. Welcome back to Chasing Purpose, heard right here on the bridge in Kingston, Jamaica, and in the New York tri-state area on Irie Jam Radio. Today we are talking about sisterhood and the power of sisterhood and just coming together as females. Before the break, Dawn was talking about just us being nurturers, right? Us being and coming together, that word sistering. You wrote an article, Dawn, on your website, and it was entitled, Do Women Need Each Other?
I sure did.
Do women need each other? Tell me, one, why, and two, where that come from, and do we need each other?
Yeah, I will tell you where it came from. So I was in a room, well, it was actually a meeting, and this lady came in and she said, I need to speak with you. And she goes, I met you before I'm meeting you. I'm meeting you for the first time, but so I said, what happened? And she says, well, I was coming up the stairs and the ancillary staff was just talking about this lady, and so I wanted to meet her. So she sought me out.
Okay.
And we got into talking. And it turned out into about almost 2 hours. She just started talking about her dreams. Then I started talking about my dreams. And then it flowed and we started talking about ministry. And then we started talking about psychology and helping people. And then we were sitting there like, wow, look at what just took place. There was no, oh, mommy, that woman who everybody I talk about. It wasn't that. It was because everybody's talking about this lady, I wanted to meet her.
Yeah, and I'm sensing that there's a thread here in this conversation.
Yeah, man.
This kind of we're holding ourselves back.
Yes.
This holding ourselves
Yes.
back. I want to know this woman, but because of my insecurities
Again.
I'm not going to go nurture or get poured into.
Yeah.
No, let us move away from that. Is foolishness. It's again holding us back.
Absolutely.
We're stagnant.
Absolutely.
And
I did
we're about
nothing
growth
that
here.
day. I did nothing else after that meeting. I went home and I sat by myself. I did my candles, I did my incense. I wanted to just absorb the moment. It was so amazing. And then I found out that I needed to talk. And she also needed to talk.
Yeah.
And so I sent a text to a gentleman, a friend of mine, and I said, do you think women need each other? And he goes, you're asking me? And I said, throw it out. Throw it out. I know you know a lot of females, throw it out. And the comments
That came in.
that were coming in, and I'm like, I'm gonna write a blog. Same day, I wrote the blog, and you should see some of these feedbacks.
Give me the context.
So you have persons who were saying, no, I don't need any woman, women backbite, so a lot of it was really, really bashing. But it also shows where those persons are in their lives, right? And then you were getting from some women who you could tell were more mature women who were sharing stories about their friendships, and even people that they just joined with, sistered with, and accomplished so much. And so, do we need each other? Of course we need each other. Of course we need each other, and if we get to that place, you would realize how much more we can accomplish.
Oh,
not
absolutely.
just for ourselves, but for our communities that can go into, bigger and can again affect the economy so well.
Backbiting.
Yeah,
You mentioned someone saying they don't need anybody.
Yeah,
That's a hurt person.
That's a hurt, and
That's a
hurt person hurt.
Hurt people. Yeah,
Absolutely.
I think that and I'm absolutely energized by this because a narrative shift needs to happen.
Yes.
Around us females,
Yes.
Getting to know each other instead of judging each
Yes.
other. I don't know you from nowhere, but I've done have you sized up from head to toe. Okay. And
we do it in our businesses too.
Everywhere.
Like, I don't know if you ever go to do a transaction.
Yes.
And the person in front of you get the best treatment, and you walk up and you probably just fix your face up that day, and I'm like, but why?
Yeah.
I don't get it.
Yeah.
So instead of looking out for me, because you now are in a place where you can really stop my progress, you do it. Why? Not recognizing that, what? You may have something that I can capitalize on, and I may have something that you can capitalize on. And I think once we get to that placement, which is why I push self-love. I push self-love because a woman who truly loves herself, you're not afraid of walking up to somebody and said, wow, that was a great interview.
Yes.
Can we do lunch? I would just like to learn a little bit more,
And where does the hurt come from? Where do you feel like if you do this, you're going to be lesser than?
Right.
I think that's a mindset also.
Right.
So if I come to you and I give you your flowers, I'm somehow dimming my light? No.
We miss a lot of opportunities in life.
Yes, for that very reason.
For that very reason. I'm going to share an experience with you. So, and I'm an open book because I feel people connect with you when they hear your real stories.
People connect with your heart.
With your heart.
Yes.
Absolutely.
Yes.
Absolutely. And so I went through a divorce recently, and I was traveling right in the middle of Miss Universe. And we, DeMar Institute, we do the makeup for Miss Universe. And so I left particular persons in charge. The coronation night is a big night. So for me to not be on the island for that was huge.
Right.
And when I came back, some of the comments I got were just heartbreaking, because when I thought persons would have seen it as, wow, she trusts me enough to do this, which is a huge deal. It was, she gonna foreign and we done your door walk. And I thought, you don't realize the opportunity you just missed. And you couldn't sister with me during the toughest period of my life.
You couldn't sister with me. Again, a lot of people don't have that mindset, that understanding.
Yeah.
You couldn't sister with me. You couldn't see, or
Yeah.
bigger word.
Oh, and
empathize.
hold on. I had one that I thought was sistering, right? I would go to work, and of course, now you're divorced, you have children, and it's you alone. And I remember the school, like one of my kids just wasn't doing so well. So the school was calling me all the time, and you would hear, you know, it's all right, go ahead. I got this, I'll lock up, da, 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 da. A year later, I found out homegirl stole $2.8 million. Yeah. So she capitalized on my weakness, on the fact that I was just at my low and trying to focus on my children, which was most important to me, you know, than the business. Yeah.
Well, that 2.8 million you're going to get back, and I'm sure in
it's going to be multiplied, man.
Exactly.
Yes. I didn't even, everybody would be like, you mean, you know, look here, the energy, I'm just like, and I needed that because, I needed that. So you know what I took from that? First of all, you're running a business bigger than you think you are. And second of all, where is your accountability?
Oh, look here, no, lessons were taught.
Absolutely.
Lessons were taught, but also blessings, because God was like, you know what? This person no longer serves you.
Yeah.
No longer serves you. And she wasn't sistering for you.
Yeah, man. Yeah.
So the next question I was going to ask was, have you ever been betrayed by someone you trusted?
Enough time.
And let's talk from a perspective of sisterhood. Because you shared that you were divorced, so that betrayal was there too. But let's talk from the perspective of sisterhood. Being betrayed in a sisterhood, whether it be a sister or a girlfriend, how does one mend that back? Or can you even mend that back?
Well, I'm going to speak from a place of forgiveness. And I think sometimes we misunderstand what forgiveness is. And you said mend that back. Forgiveness doesn't mean restoration.
Forgiveness does not, that's a major gem.
Yeah.
Forgiveness, something just popped into my head because I'm thinking of my own experiences. Forgiveness does not mean restoration.
No.
That is a whole gem.
Yeah, man.
Okay?
Yeah.
That is the truth.
Yeah, it is the truth.
Just because I forgive you, that doesn't mean that we're...
No, we don't need to be cool. We don't need to be chummy. But I need to ensure that I have no animosity in my heart, because it's going to hold me back, not you. And we get that mix up, you know. We think, you know, person moved on, living happy life while you still have stuff. Oh, no. And then guess what it turns? You become diseased, and guess what that is? Disease. So we wonder where all these disease come from. You have all this unforgiveness wrapped up and tied up inside of you for what? For what?
Taking up space.
Taking up space. Yeah.
Paying no rent, no mortgage, just taking up space.
There's a quote I saw, and it says, forgiveness is drinking poison and expecting the other person to die.
I have to jump to a quick break. But when we come back, more gems to be had with the amazing Dawn Petgrave.
Thank you.
Welcome back to Chasing Purpose. And as Casa said, I need to keep that same energy. So here I am keeping the same energy. Before we went to break, we were talking to Dawn, who's our guest today on Chasing Purpose, and we're talking about introspection. She realized that the topic is sisterhood. However, which is introspection comes with sisterhood as well, not just with divorce or with sexual relationships. It comes with, I think it should start with self.
Absolutely.
Along with the importance of self-love, along with self-love is introspection.
Right, that's the biggest part of self-love.
Yes, looking within ourselves to say, all right, if I keep attracting this same type of person, whether it be male or female, or if I keep giving off or receiving this energy, what's wrong with me?
Yeah.
There are people right now that don't even realize it, but these same things keep happening and happening and happening, and it's somebody else's fault.
Yeah.
It's my girlfriend's fault. It's that person. It's never me. So talk to me about introspection and the importance of.
So how many times do we really spend with ourselves? Recently, so my son wanted to hang out with some of his friends at the mall. So now I'm left alone. So I decided, there's a movie theater. So I decided I'm going to go see a movie while they go hang out. And they kept asking, one ticket? I said, yes, one ticket. So I went in. I had a whole row by myself because nobody would come into that row because I was just there. There was no other persons there by themselves. So I was sharing with somebody that they were like, so what did you do while, you know, he was hanging out with his friends? So I said, I went to watch a movie. By yourself? So if you never take the time out to be brutally honest with yourself, you're going to keep doing the same thing over and over and over and expecting something different, and that's insanity. And that's when you're gonna have to come see me. You're gonna have to book an appointment and to come see me for that. But we have to understand that every single thing we need is already inside of us.
Do I not say it, guys? Do I not say that? Yeah. I mean, everything that we need.
Everything.
Is here.
Everything.
It's already here.
Everything. I told a client, I said, I don't fix people. I help you find the answers. Because the answers are already in you. But we don't spend enough time with ourselves to see what you like. In therapy, we have what's called mindfulness. So it's an exercise that I will do, depending on how the client is, to just calm them and to keep them in that moment. And you would not believe how hard it is just for a person for 5 minutes to be in this moment, this present moment. Feel that you're sitting on a cushion. Feel that the floor is wooden. It is so hard for 5 minutes. So until we are introspecting, you know what? Wait a minute. Today when I got to work, my boss said something to me and I flared up. Why did I do that? What happened? Oh, maybe somebody cut you off in traffic. Maybe you got up late and then you were already, you understand what I'm saying? We don't stop to think. If you don't know what is wrong, you have nothing to fix.
Right.
And it's important. And you know, I mean, men too, but I'm a woman, so I'm going to talk to the girls, man, because we blame everything. We put everything on them. Him not love me, him not do this, him not do that. Love you first. And when you love you and how you treat you, our brother got to step up.
Hello? Okay.
He's got to step up.
Okay.
So it starts with introspection. Be brutally honest with yourself and make the changes. Be intentional about making the changes.
Okay, so many gems dropped there. Casta's raising his hand in the background, having whole come to Jesus moments. But it's true. What you're saying is true. You know, we don't take time to look within. We don't take time to just be with ourselves. Even as you're speaking to me about mindfulness and this practice that you do about sitting for 5 minutes, I'm thinking about what time it is, what I have to do after this, the amount of emails that are, and the phone is going up. So it's just, it's hard. It's a hard practice to just sit and just be with yourself, to clear your mind and to just kind of feel, your heart beating. Right?
You're alive.
And to feel that you're alive. And Nayoka's name keeps coming up, but we were talking about when she was doing a makeup application about being in the now.
Yes. And that's what mindfulness is.
Relishing in the now.
Yeah.
Stepping into the now, which is a whole nother show, by the way. But stepping into now is so important, and understanding in right now, what are you feeling? Right now, whether you're angry, whether you're sad, whether you're happy, whether you're grateful, what's triggering these things? And if it's something that's positive, how do you lean more into it? If it's negative, how do we fix it? How do we fix it?
It's so important, man. So important. And I will just continue to say, we have to be a part of our own rescue. We have to stop this mentality that, like you said, a femme fault, a fear fault, a she fault, you know, and take responsibility. Be accountable for yourself.
Yes. And that starts first. Be accountable. Before we talk about sisterhood and coming together as one, we have to be accountable for ourselves. Because if we're not holding ourselves accountable, how can I hold you as my sister accountable?
You won't. And then it becomes a ripple effect.
So much is happening. All right.
It's a lot.
Okay. So let's talk about this idea. Now you're talking about a man fault, or you've gone through a divorce, or what we're holding inside because of. I find that I was having this conversation with another young lady also, that let's say you and your girlfriend brings something to your attention, you know, somebody to see a man, whatever, or something. We're quick to walk away from that friendship or to not believe her, right? And completely disregard what she has to say. But we know the man do it wrong, you know. But we're gonna stick and stay. We're gonna stay by his side. Why is it so easy for us to just walk away from a friendship, but not so much a relationship?
Again, let's go back to self-love. You know, let's take it back to self-love. What is this man feeding you?
That's a question, y'all. What is he feeding you? And we're not talking about physical.
Right.
What is he feeding you?
Right. And so if that's comfort, you might hear, oh, she jealous of me. You know, it's because I'm not going for fear of life or whatever. And you know what? This is not a simple topic. I will just say that out loud. Because how many of our little girls too are coming and they're saying, so-and-so did so-and-so to me, and we're not believing them.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
And you would not believe the cases. You would not believe the numbers that are out there. I had one little girl was just sharing something with me, and it broke my heart because now she's a troublemaker and she's breaking up the home and she's doing all these things. And they're now ignoring the fact that, you know, she's now cutting and she's getting in fights and she's doing all these things. So now she become labeled as like a bad pitney. But nobody believed her when she says, so-and-so did so-and-so to me. She was molested, spoke about it. Nobody believed her. She's lying. She's breaking up the home. She's doing all these things. All right. And there are many of those cases, many of them out there that we are ignoring, and sometimes because we want to stay with the man, then because of, you know, whatever is they're feeding us and so forth. So it's important that you know who your friends are, because if one of my girlfriend come to me and tell me something about, you know, a partner or whatever, I'm gonna believe her because of the relationship that we have.
And I know some of our men are going to want to combat that.
Yeah.
However, I do believe that there's a level of trust when it comes down to sisterhood. I'm not talking about I don't want to use the term hurry come up friends or new friends, because I believe in new friends, and I'm going to talk to you about
acquaintances.
But acquaintances,
right. You have your friend and you have your acquaintances.
Right. But when you have that sisterhood, when that bond is there, you are supposed to be able to kind of trust what that person says.
Look here, life going to show you some real struggles, you know.
Facts.
If you hear some of the stories that comes to me, you would not even believe, you know. And like I said, going through my divorce was a tough time for me. I had sisters, you know, friends who are sisters, who they would come to see me and we don't talk. We don't need to talk. They bring ice cream and cake.
Yeah, those are the best ones.
And guess what? We sit down and we eat ice cream and cake, and then we go run it off because everybody are worried about fat. But guess what? Was that important to me? Absolutely. Absolutely. If you can't be vulnerable with somebody, you need to check if this person is your sister.
Let me ask you, who can you be vulnerable with? On that note, we jump to a quick commercial break. More on Chasing Purpose when we come back. My guest today is associate psychologist Dawn Petgrave, and we're talking today about sisterhood and the power of sisterhood, the unity, the strength rather, when we unify as one. Before we went to break, we were talking about vulnerability and being vulnerable. It's an issue for women. It's an issue, a huge issue for everybody, really, to be vulnerable. Where I believe that. For me, it's a strength. Being able to share my vulnerability, my weaknesses. I'm using it as a strength for me. It's a healing for me. Right. How can women look at it as a superpower or a strength as opposed to a weakness?
My take on that has always been, look, if I share my vulnerabilities with you and you want to tell somebody else, it's on you. But guess what? Me get my healing. So, you know, we just have to get to that place. There's always persons that are going to talk.
Yeah.
You know, there's always persons that you might be sharing your vulnerabilities with somebody and expecting empathy, and you'll get something else.
Yeah.
And you got to be
Many
prepared,
times.
right? And you
Many
got to be
times.
prepared
Yeah.
for that too.
Yeah.
But I will say this though, if somebody is bold enough to share their vulnerabilities with you, the least you can do is protect that.
Yes.
Think about it.
Yeah.
That's the least you can do. Just protect it.
The least you can do is protect it. Again, I think that the persons that do the opposite of that go back and kind of tell your vulnerabilities, those are persons that are operating from a weak space, a hurt space.
Hurt people hurt. Don't ever forget that. And sometimes they don't even understand that they're hurting you by doing that.
That's true.
Right.
That's true. They don't understand. They don't. And you were talking off camera about things that we internalize. Talking about hurt people hurting people.
Yeah.
We as females and some males too, we internalize things instead of allowing it to kind of being in the moment, letting it go. We internalize it. We don't even realize that years down the road, somebody that hurt us in 2000 is still now 2022. We're still hurting and holding on to that.
Yeah. And hurting other people.
And hurting other people because of that.
Oh, so there's this quote. I read too much. I think I read too much.
Read too much. Absolutely not.
There's a quote that says, I'm paraphrasing, try to get your healing because you may bleed on somebody that never cut you. I don't know who said it. I just read it somewhere. So can you imagine how many times people bleed and you didn't cut them?
And you didn't cut them.
Yeah. And think about this also. You may go out there and you may have somebody, just a random person at a service industry, and they just snap at you. And you may think, well, what happened to you? Has nothing to do with you.
Absolutely nothing.
Nothing to do with you. I stopped a cashier once and I realized where it was going, and I said to her, tough day, huh? I said, did you eat yet? And she's looking at me like, okay, that was not what I was expecting to come from you, because many times we expect persons to snap back, you know, and so we walk around with this defense and nobody is attacking.
Empathy.
Yeah.
Empathy and compassion. I think the more that we have of, the more of that we have, the more of that we show, the more that we give.
Especially now.
Do
you see what is happening in the world? Especially now. So research has shown that the brain shrinks in isolation. Do you understand what that means?
Yeah. Oh, wow.
So
what's happened? What has happened in the past 2 to 3 years?
Yeah. Why do you think they use isolation in prison for these big tough guys when they break the law, whatever they do? They send them into isolation because it breaks you. We were not developed to be alone.
No.
Right? And so now more than ever, learn to just smile at somebody.
Yes.
You don't know what people are going through. You don't. I mean, I am telling you, you know, some of the stories that come with you, you don't know.
No.
You don't know. And they're so much bigger than we can. And sometimes even just a pleasant, how are you today?
Can change someone's whole
Can
world.
change someone's whole day. Whole day.
Are you chasing your purpose, or have you found your purpose?
I have found my purpose. I just
Talk
want more of it. I just want to do more of it.
Okay.
I love helping people. It has always been my thing since I was a little kid. And I'll share a little experience with you where beauty is concerned, how I got into beauty, which led into psychology. So 1998, long time, not true. I was working for a company in Florida called Burdines. I think Macy's bought them out or something. So anyway. Yeah, you remember Burdines? Yeah. So I got sent to the clinic department because somebody called out sick. At that time, I never wore makeup in my life. The winter time, I put on a little bit of chopsticks, so you know, bliss sticks. And when I went to the clinic department, there's a lady doing her makeup. And every time the makeup artist or the beauty advisor let go her chin. She just, she just dropped like this. So the young lady finished the makeup and hands the woman a mirror. And the woman look in the mirror and she starts sitting up. She starts fixing her hair. And I'm watching all that is going on. And when this woman was finished, I did not recognize that woman.
Wow.
And I thought, I want to do that for the rest of my life.
Wow.
Not necessarily the makeup. Makeup became a tool for me, but not necessarily the makeup. But to be able to bring somebody from that to this, I wanted more of that. And so at that time, I had already graduated college with education and minored in psychology. So after that, I went back to school and I did a bachelor's in counseling psychology, and then I did a master's in counseling psychology. But throughout my 23 years in the beauty industry, I think what kept me in the industry is because I counseled so many women.
Throughout.
I get so many stories, people sit in a chair, and because of the training, you were able to pull on stuff. No, you really, really didn't walk in the door. Okay, he hit you. When are you going to leave? Have these tough discussions. And then when COVID hit, and persons were now calling, D, I need to talk to you, D, I need to talk to you. And then I too had to close down the school and all that was happening. I thought, you know what? I really need to just walk fully into counseling psychology. And so
and walk fully into your purpose.
And walk fully into my purpose, And so I applied for the counseling license and signed up with Jump Psych. And so I just haven't looked back since then.
That's awesome. You have such a light about you. You have a great energy.
God has been good to me.
Yeah, look at that. Okay, that's a perspective. That's awesome.
Yeah.
Talk to us about the Life Center.
Right.
Life Care Center.
Center. Right. So last year when I recognized persons were coming to me and some of them needed clinical assessment, which you have to have a PhD to do. Okay. I have a master's. I can't do that. And then persons just can't afford. So I thought, wow, you know what? Maybe I should really think of starting up a professional counseling center at my church because, you have pastoral care, but that's a whole different ball game from the problems that are coming into you. If you're not trained clinically, you won't be able to assist. And so I did a proposal and my bishop, loved the idea because it also falls under his vision that I didn't know yet. And so this space, he asked me to identify a space that we could use, and the space that was available fall under the Bible School, Life Bible College campus, and so it's Life Care Center. So we launched last year in October, and just shout outs to everybody that has been involved. It's so amazing. So now just to have persons come in for mental help that is unable to pay is, it's awesome. Yes. It's awesome when somebody comes in and they're crying. One time I had to do grief counseling, with this little old person. And when I was finished, she says, "Oh, you're coming back again? You come with peace." And that blessed my heart because here goes, this person grieving. And so the Life Care Center has been a blessing. It continues to be a blessing, not just for the church community, but because the world has, I think we're understanding globalization more now because everything is online. Yeah. So I'm even able to meet with persons even from overseas via, via online. I've had nurses from overseas and that was very profound for me when this one nurse reached out to me. She said, "We are in the healthcare and nobody thinks that we need health care."
Wow.
Yeah. And she was telling me how many of them are depressed. She said, if I see one more dead body, I'm going to lose
so much death.
Right, right.
So they I'm sure they need a lot of counseling.
A lot of counseling. And we have to move away from the stigma that only mad people. First of all, if you're mad, counseling not going to help you. Let's just keep, I want persons to move away from that stigma. Just move away from that you need help, go talk to someone.
Yes.
And there are many, many places out there
Yeah.
that you can get help.
Yeah.
And so let's move away from that. And I need to speak to the gentlemen also,
Yes.
because, you know, man a man, and, you know, from they were children, you beat them if them cry. Oh,
Yeah.
you know, man up, you know,
Yeah.
cry like little
Yeah.
girl. Our culture has killed our men. Anyway, that's a whole different
show.
right?
A whole different show.
That's a whole different
Yeah,
show right
yeah,
there.
yeah,
But the point I'm trying to make is get the necessary help that you need.
There's no shame in it.
There's no shame in
There's
it.
no shame in it.
There's more shame in suffering silently.
Dawn,
Ma'am.
thank you for your energy. Thank you for your service. Thank you what you do for here in Jamaica and beyond, because you're touching the global space virtually now. Where can our audience find you?
So persons can call the Bible School. It's 876-627-6240. So once they call that number, they could just say that they want to make an appointment to see one of the therapists.
Yeah. Make an appointment. Share, talk, call Dawn. She is a light. She's given us so much gems today. And again, thank you for being a part of Chasing Purpose.
Thank you. Thank you.
I leave you with this. A sister is a gift to the heart, a friend to the spirit, a golden thread to the meaning of life. That quote is by Isadore James. Wishing you love, light, and purpose.